Alrighty, it's been some time, but finally have episode 2 here. I know it's been a little bit since the first episode. A lot of things have changed for the better. Moved around to a new spot. Wanted to work on some personal things, whether that may be the content creation side and just figuring out some life stuff. But yeah, here we are, episode 2 with Coach Sudon de Seuss. Now, Sudon has been in my life for a very, very long time. We'll go into it when you guys watch the video. Without him, I wouldn't be who I am, and I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't have met the people that I have very close in my life without him. I'm very thankful for him, and I'll always tell him that. I've gotten very far with Sudon's help, and no matter how I think about it, I'll never be able to repay him, other than just going forward and just continuing to apply everything that he said for advice and just putting it into my lifestyle and really just going about it. And yeah, just looking forward overall, and hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. Alright, we're rolling. Alrighty. Okay, welcome to episode 2 of So Who's Next? This is Sudon de Seuss. Sudon, good to see you.
What's up, Blair?
Always good to see you. Always a pleasure. For those of you who don't know, I've known Sudon since high school, my freshman year of high school, so that was like 2013? Yeah, 2013, because I graduated in 2017. And he's been a big part of my life through high school and even like to this day. So real quick, if you would just want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I've known Brandon for a while now. As he was saying, since to back when he was a student at Thomas Jefferson High School. During that time of my life, I was working at Thomas Jefferson High School as, I don't even know what my role was at that point. I was working in the building. I felt like I was assistant coach basketball-wise at that point.
And like a teacher too.
Yeah, in some capacity. Like I said, I don't really remember what exactly I was doing.
You were like the everything kind of guy.
I feel like I was all over the place.
Yeah.
At that point. I don't even remember how we met. I would imagine it had something to do with basketball.
Yeah.
My first impression of you was you were loud, you were happy. Like I just feel like you had this smile and laugh that was memorable, and you like to talk about basketball a lot.
You want to know like how we very first met? I remember this to this day.
Okay.
It was my freshman year of C-team tryouts, and I didn't have my physical.
Okay.
So I only got to try out like one day technically, but I came out to all 3 practices because I just wanted to just be there. I didn't have a ride home, and no one was answering the phone like for me. It was just pretty late at that time, and I was just like sitting outside the gym, and you came up to me like, "How are you getting home?" I was like, "I was gonna walk home," and you're like, "Well, where do you live?" Hold up the address. And you're like, "Fuck do you mean you're walking?" You're like, "What the hell do you mean you're walking?" I was like, "Well, I'm kind of used to it." And you were just like, "Interesting." So that's the first memory of us meeting. Because I don't think any of the other coaches would have been like, "Do you need a ride?"
Yeah.
I kind of got that vibe. You were just like, gonna look out for like the little guys kind of thing.
That's crazy. I do remember giving rides quite a bit.
Yeah.
To a lot of people. And it's funny, I don't think a lot of people realize this, but one of the rules in there is technically you're not supposed to give players or students rides home. Like you can really get in trouble for that. And I always thought that was weird.
Right. Is it because like anything can kind of happen, or?
I mean, I think in the past there's been bad people that have like taken advantage of people in those scenarios, and so they try to like say no adults should be giving minors. I don't know, whatever it is. I just remember. I just remember reading that and being like, that doesn't make sense to me. Growing up, I had coaches and adults that looked out for me like that same scenario, and I remember how impactful that was. Like, just having somebody that would look out and be like, "Yeah, I got you. I'll give you a ride home."
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? So I don't remember that specific story.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was but to be fair, it was a long time ago.
Crazy, but it has given me flashbacks. And like I said, it was just a common thing for me. Like I'm sure I give a lot of.
Dude, it was at like 10:30 at night.
That's probably why I gave you a ride home. Like, dude, it's dark.
You know what's funny?
As hell.
Halfway through the drive, we got to
we got like kind of close to Winko, but like a little bit before, you're just like, it's like, dog, this is a far ass walk.
Yeah, what do you mean you walk? Yeah.
That's a far
you
ass
say this
walk.
out loud. I'm like, you were walking? And now you're catching the bus? Like,
Because I was like 13, 14 at the time.
that's crazy.
And you're just like, it's like, what do you mean you're walking? But
Yeah.
I think little did no one know, before coming into TJ, I was walking from point A to like point G,
Yeah.
like every day, because there was the school bus wasn't en route with like where I used to live.
Sure.
So I was so used to just walking like 4 miles to school and then 4 miles from school back to home.
It's still wild.
Yeah.
Like, you almost sound like...
Poor scum.
No, I was gonna say, at least from my generation, our older generation to us would always say, "Oh, back in my day, I would walk through and through, right, to like get to these certain places." And
Yeah.
so like it's for here somebody like, if from your perspective of having to walk that much,
Yeah.
and then downplaying it, you know, I think there's something to be said about that, just as a character of you. Because again, you were like downplaying. No, it's cool. I'm like, that shit ain't cool.
I was used to it. I was used to it. Because it was just like, I also, and I think you caught onto this, like knowing me for so long. I hated like asking people for stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So that's why I was just like, always just like, oh no, I can do it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so
Yeah.
I felt like some independence at some kind of at that young age. So
That's crazy. It's still crazy. Now that I'm having flashbacks to that. It was late.
yeah,
And I don't know what you were doing. I think you were trying to get a ride.
yeah. But no one was answering the phone and stuff.
And that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I know. I mean, at the time, like, I think the reason why no one was answering is because, like, at the time, I was living with both my sisters.
Yeah.
One of them wasn't driving
Yeah.
yet, and then my brother-in-law, and then my oldest sister, and then my brother. But my brother was like going in and out because he was up at UW, Seattle,
everybody
and
started, yeah.
my oldest sister was working like X amount of jobs, and she was just having to sleep super early. So by the time like practice was over or tryouts was over, like I just did that.
So we had some late nights.
No, yeah. And some early mornings for basketball, for sure. After, like, post, like, I think, like, starting, like, sophomore to my senior year, there's early morning sessions, whether that may be, like, for practices or if you guys just want to get in just by yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, that was a cool time.
Yeah.
I would say that was all the players sparking that, though. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't me saying, you guys need to be in the gym at X amount of time.
Yeah.
I felt like I had tried that at one point, and there was not a lot of
Yeah.
commitment. I feel like it was Darren and like Darius that had like kind of brought it up. They just wanted to be in the gym, and I was like, I mean, I'll come if you guys are coming. I don't want to just come up
Yeah.
and open the gym and it's just me, like, or to be like expecting a whole bunch of student or players and nobody's showing up. So I kind of put it on them. I said, we'll test it out.
Yeah.
And they showed up.
I think speaking about that, it's crazy because I think I started working with you my sophomore year or my junior year.
Sure.
As like, it was more so for like the basketball team. Like
yeah.
I was like the manager like sophomore, junior year.
Yeah, you're throwing it back. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I think that whole thing started like Darius and Darren wanting to like get in the gym and like really like set the examples because I think there was a game where we got like blown out. But given like this was C team, so skills aside, like things were different back then too.
C-team
But
was
like
so fun though.
But like that's where like a lot of the kids in C team had like the craziest egos. They were like, "Oh, we deserve to be on JV." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And-
for sure.
But then that was like a wake up call. It was like, okay, well, how do you guys expect to
Yeah.
play and be
You
at
get
that
smacked
level
on the C
when
team.
we're getting destroyed
Yeah.
in C team?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, there's another narrative to be looked at and talked about, you know? So,
I feel like I brought that up a lot.
yeah,
Like,
and then that's when I think Norris talks about it a lot, my locker room moment, where I just yelled at the C team kids.
yeah, but I gave you that space too
Yeah.
because you were there though.
Yeah.
Like, definitely a part of that team. I mean, you were like the unofficial assistant coach
Mm-hmm.
in a way, you know, like I felt like you had the space to speak because you were there, you know, you were showing up to practices, you were present, you know, so like you were there, right?
Yeah.
And so like you were frustrated too.
Yeah, because like, you know, like I feel like with my circumstances with like not making the team, I'm gonna be completely honest, I was not a good student. So that played a big role in like, I felt like that played a big role like how I practiced and like how I wanted things. But I wanted it, but I also just didn't want to put like the extra little effort to get things right to play on the team and stuff. So, but I think even like working with you in that aspect, like just like coming to team practices, like doesn't matter like what I was doing in the practices, just like being there, like help me see things differently and like working with all the different coaches like Templeton, Norris, Mo, Arthur, Magic. Like it's like just picking your guys' brains, just sitting next to you was for me like the coolest experience. Like people kind of looked at me funny, like, oh, do you enjoy like just sitting on the bench with them? I was like,
Yeah, but you're learning.
yeah. I'm just trying to learn because I wasn't the most athletic. I wasn't like the fanciest or whatever.
Yeah.
At like a watching perspective, I felt like I just saw a lot of different things, especially like working under you guys.
Sure. I mean, even the coaches you just named, like those are some good mindsets with basketball.
Yeah.
Even taking it back to C team time, like that was wild, but it was also really fun. I don't know. I told the guys too. I approached that differently. I had never played C team. I had never been around C team. I told them, I said, I'm approaching everything from a varsity standpoint.
Yeah. And for you, there was like, I guess a lot of kids didn't understand because it was coming from like a very technical perspective.
Yeah.
And like you looked at a lot of like the intricacies.
Yeah.
And people on the C team, kids were just like,
What is this guy doing?
like it's just going through one year and like
Sure.
coming out the other like just empty.
Yeah.
But I think that's like the thing they didn't understand is that like, I think they just wanted to play,
For sure.
but they didn't want to learn how to play. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's real.
You know, like with your upbringing, you tell me this a lot, like with sports specifically. You said sports is like the best therapy, but also like best learning lesson for any any person in life. You know, like with your career in sports, from like starting as a hobby and then like coaching and like to where you are now, like for anyone that's like pursuing that or like kind of like going through the steps, like oh they're starting to get into coaching or they're like trying to like learn how to coach and things like that, like what's your like best way to go about it? Like if you were to like teach a class, like hey, like this is what you got to do for coaching. Like what's the first step you'd want to do?
For me, why I got into coaching was more of a personal thing. I felt personally as a player, I didn't have a coach that like advocated for me. When I'm talking about like high school and beyond, I felt like I didn't have a coach that advocated for me. I feel like I didn't have coaches that really understood me for the person I was and understanding me for like the goals that I had. I felt like I was misunderstood. I felt like there were certain coaches that like didn't really care about me off the court as much as they did on the court. I felt like there were certain coaches that didn't like care about my goals or like future goals outside of basketball, like whether that was for school or personal. And so, but I also had good coaches though, right? But I just felt like there was just these voids of spaces that I felt like I didn't get. And I know I didn't get that because I had peers and people I grew up with or got to know that I could tell like they had these places and that kind of like helped them, at least confidently wise, like to like carry on and move on. And so when I got into coaching, I had these like certain things that I wanted to be able to like do. I wanted to like really have strong relationships with people that I was connected with when I'm coaching, and I still how I am today. Like I'm a relationship, like that's the center of everything that I do.
Like relationship first.
Relationship first. And that's me. The teaching of basketball in itself is important too. I'm not so much an X and O coach. I'm more of a understand the game. And when I say to understand the game, because I got caught into it too when I was a player. Like, but it's a lot of times you think about how many points did I score, right? And you value that off of like how you played the game. And I wasn't a really big scorer, and so that was a lot of frustration too. I didn't really have anybody to like tell me like I still was able to like provide energy or influence or even control in a game, and I didn't score a lot of points, right? But there's so much more to basketball besides just scoring.
Yeah.
Even just talking on the court is a big part of basketball. But there's leadership qualities, there's defense, there's rebounding, there's movement, there's so many other things besides just putting the ball in the hoop, right? And so like a lot of times we focus on just points, and all the value that comes with that. You know, a lot of times everybody looks at the scoreboard, and the first thing they look at is how many points somebody had, and they say, "Oh, he must be really good." From being around the game for so long too, like I can watch a basketball game and get irritated at somebody that's scoring 30 a game, right? Or vice versa. Like somebody could score 30 points a game and it could be just amazing basketball. There's just different ways of playing basketball.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that why I appreciate basketball and sports so much, and I say it a lot too, is you can tell a lot about a person by how they play basketball. A lot.
Yeah.
You can tell if they're selfish.
Does that go with like how they practice too? Like you think?
I think that goes deeper into it. I think that is more of like how you approach, or how, there's a saying like how you do anything is how you do everything, and I think that's common for everything, right? And so like you can bring it down to a space of how somebody practices. Yeah, you can learn a lot from that. Like how do you approach this space when there's nobody in here and there's no crowd, there's no like parents in here, like how are you here, right? You can learn a lot about a person and how they approach and practice. I'm a big component of sports. I say it a lot because I feel like you as an individual can learn so much. Like you have to learn how to like work with different people, different personalities, different walks of life, different people from coming from different backgrounds, and you have to be able to work with them because basketball is a team sport, right? So you have to like figure it out.
Yeah.
You have to open yourself up to other teammates that you might not know or maybe you do know, right? So I think there's a big component of that in itself. Yeah, I can talk about this all day long.
No, yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. I think I don't think I ever told you this. One of the favorite things I've ever heard from you, and I feel like it applies. I see it so much more differently now, especially like in basketball, like outside of basketball, but recently, like as a part of my life. I think the coolest thing that I take away from a lot of your coaching and teaching is that it takes a player to play the game. It takes a coach to teach you how to win the game, but it takes a team to win like the championship.
Team, man.
Yeah, it's weird because even in like basketball and even like in like my friend group now or just like anywhere I go, it's a lot of like everyone just kind of looks out for themselves. Like it's a lot of like selfishness, and that may be like they have their reasons for it. It's like they're just like looking out for themselves because the experiences they've gone through and things like that. But basketball especially, like there's a lot of people that just like want to just go for like the highlights now too.
We were just talking about this, man.
Yeah.
You guys come from the social media era, man. So like, I would almost deem that a different type of basketball too, right?
Yeah.
It's a type of basketball that's going for the highlight, that's going for the clip that I can then show and edit and post later on. We might lose by 30, but I got 2 clips that can go on there and post.
I broke someone's ankles.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I said it earlier. I think it's unfortunate that you kind of have those experiences of people around you that you might be connected with through basketball, but like for me, like majority of, I would say 95% of the people that I consider friends encountered through basketball. Whether I played on the team with you or played against you, it's through basketball. And again, like you can just kind of like understand people better, at least in my opinion, on how they play basketball, how they approach it. I just feel like basketball is a connector, man. And that's one of the reasons why I still enjoy it to this day, just as like just being around it, but also to coach, because I feel like that's the part of the game that is kind of getting lost in all this mumbo jumbo of like me, and that's not real basketball, man. It's like basketball is a connecting sport, it's a team sport, and you got to find your role in whatever team you're on. And I feel like you can say a lot of that in life.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just a big component of, like I said, just the sport, because there's so many lessons in it that connect to life. Whether you're in a relationship or whether you're working in an environment or whether you're trying to go do something new, like it
just applies to everything.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many parallels of being like, okay, and again, that's how I approach things. I know that I have some issues. I think about it in a basketball term or in an athletic term. Like, how would I approach this? You know, like, I don't feel very confident or whatever. And it's like, I'm like, fuck that. Or whatever it is, I flip it and I put it in that lens, and it helps me to like approach things differently, you know?
Speaking about like just like looking at life in like a different lens, because you've coached like so many people and so many teams. For you specifically, like has there been like any hardships that like you look at it through like a coaching lens, like a hardship that you're facing where you're just like, oh, like I don't know if I can overcome this, but then you apply like your coaching philosophies to yourself, and it's like, was there a hardship at some point, like as of recently, like way back when, or somewhere in the middle where you were just like I don't know if I can get over this? Like your coaching perspective and the things you've learned, like not only coaching people, but like learning like from your players too. Like, is there something that like stood out to you that like helped you come over that specific hardship?
Hardships, man. I feel like there's been so many. The one that sticks out that like really hurt was my coaching experience in high school. And the way that it ended, had a pretty good team 2019, and then the 2020 years just wasn't really.
Was that the team with Adriel and Davion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That team was that was a rough patch.
Yeah.
Right. So we didn't win a game that year, which sucks. I don't wish that upon anybody to go through a whole season and not.
But what's crazy is that group had a lot of like grit and scrappiness, but they just could not get it together.
Yeah, it was really difficult to like figure that out, because I feel like that was a big part of what we were about, was like being together and being a team, and I feel like that team we didn't gel, we didn't connect. On the surface it might look like that, but like on the court we were not on the same page together. But that's like one side of the hardship, but like after that, like I basically got let go. That was hard because I was all in for TJ, being an alumni, coming back and like trying to like really build that program up.
Right.
And yeah, we had a setback, it sucked, but like I had a lens on it where I was like, we're gonna come back next year and like and change some things and wrap it up or whatever. So like not being able to like fix that sucked. And so also the way that it went down when they were like basically pushing me out sucked. I actually was like, I'm not coaching no more, like, because it left that much of a sour taste in my mouth that I let the circumstance put me in a mental space of like, fuck this, fuck everybody.
Yeah.
Also like, fuck coaching. That's really where I was at.
Yeah.
But there was a blessing in there, because right after that we went right into COVID and quarantine time. And so
that was an interesting ass time.
It was a very interesting time.
Yeah.
But for me, I tell people all the time, for me, it actually was helpful.
Yeah.
It gave me time to like chill, slow down, like really like humble myself and like have really good conversation with myself. Because prior to that, when I'm coaching and we're working at teacher, like I look back at it, I didn't realize it, but I'm just on the fly all the time. I feel like I lived at TJ. But during that time, I just did a lot of self-reflection. I did a lot of work on myself. And again, I still was in the space even coming out of that. I was like, I'm not coaching no more. I'm just going to spend some more time and like really lean into my kids and my family. And that's one of the things I did during that time too. So it was just very helpful, like to just like understand like what was really important, right? I don't know if I would have been able to do that if it wasn't quarantine. Like literally everything stopped and slowed down. So it gave me that time and space to handle that and do that. So for me, like my family and my kids, my wife, just having that like unconditional love away from basketball was amazing to like really understand I had that. Again, in the midst of things, sometimes you don't really realize that you have certain things. And so that was a very grounding time for me.
Yeah. You probably had a lot of breathing room.
I had a lot of breathing room.
Yeah.
Like a ton. Like more than I realized I needed. Like I really say that time was special to me.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of shit going on and like we were isolated and whatever, but like we spent a lot of time like just getting out the house and moving around and being active. And so like, it was scary. Excuse me, at times, it was just not knowing what was going on, but it was a really good time for me, selfishly. Just understanding what was important was really helpful. And again, I wasn't looking to get back in coaching. Some years went by. And then what's ironic is Grady reached out to me.
After all that shit, you're
so ironic.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, why are you calling me, man? I literally was
you're just like, fuck out of here.
Literally, I'm like, what do you want? In the back of my head, I was like, fuck this dude. And he was telling me that Totem, it's Evergreen at this point, needed a coach. And I'm like, I kept saying no. I was like, no. And I was like, fine, I'll come check it out. And that actually ended up being perfect for me. Like it was a brand new scenario. I had no idea what the roster was. I had no idea what anything was. I was just going in, just trying to coach. And we actually had a really competitive roster, but the thing about it was I just had fun. I had fun coaching that group. I had fun.
Because what was the age group? It was...
So this is, I don't know what, 7th, 8th, no,
okay.
6th, 7th, 8th grade. But it was, I just had fun. And like the kids responded to what I was about. I mean, I went there with a no-nonsense mindset because at that point, I mean, Totem historically is a pretty tough school. and there was this kind of like aura around the basketball program that it was bad. And so I remember when I first time I came in, the teachers were telling me about so and so students were bad, how so and so
like kids being like hard headed.
Oh, bad. They were just like, so and so shouldn't make the team because he's doing this, blah blah blah. I don't know anything. I'm just walking in, like, let me figure it out. I remember the first day of practice, kids was in there just wearing everything. I'm like, what are we doing? I was like, no, we're not doing any of that. If you're gonna play basketball, you gotta come in here, at least have some athletic wear, no do-rags, no earrings, chains. I was like, I don't know what you guys are doing. I was like, we're not doing that here. And just little things like that, man. But like after a couple of days, they just responded to it.
Yeah.
And they weren't tripping.
That's good.
I remember I was telling them too, I was like, you guys need to stop acting the fool in the classroom. Like I'm tired, because there was one practice, I was like, I'm tired of getting emails and phone calls from your teachers saying you're doing this, that, and that, whatever. I'm like, you guys want to play basketball? You got to go to school and you got to be good. You just got to be a good student, whatever. Yeah. And I feel like the next day I got another email. I was like, fuck this. So we like ran for like 15, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. After that, there was no more issues. Teachers were calling me. Teachers were coming into practice. Oh my gosh, I just want to let you know that so-and-so was so good today and so-and-so did good today. Wow. He actually led today in a group opportunity. Oh, he had a good speaking engagement. Yeah. And like teachers literally were coming into the gym and just like raving about, they're pointing out, oh, he did it. And you could just see their energy like lifting up and they're smiling. They're like high-fiving their teachers. And so like just that part was like dope. On top of that, like, we were winning games, but like to see that part where like literally I came in and everybody was like, nah, these kids ain't shit. They're not about anything. I don't know why you're here. That was really cool. So I did 2 years there. First year we took second. Second year we won it. So again, this was a really good experience. I just had fun, and so went into that not even looking to coach. And then somehow in the midst of that, I get a phone call from a coach reaching out saying, asked me if I want to coach at the college level. I'm like, what?
Literally right after you just dealt with teenagers.
Teenagers, middle school. I'm like, what? And I told him the same thing. I was like, nah, man, I'm not looking to coach. I said no like 5 times. He was like, nah, man, just come check it out, blah, 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 blah. And then that kind of just led me to where I'm at now. So, so I just to go back to your question, like the hardship of that was like just a lot of negative emotions and blaming and not feeling as if I could do it, right? Mm-hmm. And I had to like, I don't know, do a lot of self-reflection and then like get back to the core, like why I wanted to do it in the first place. Yeah. You know, and that helped me to have a different lens on.
Do you think it was a lot of like, you were asking yourself like, is this something like I want to do versus something like, is this something I need to do? Especially with like all the negatives?
I felt like when I took the TJ job, I was unrealistically putting this burden and pressure and expectations on myself. At the time, I probably didn't realize it, but that was like gonna drive me into a like bad place. It was. And so I think that season of not winning and having all that stuff and being pushed out was a blessing in disguise. Again, I look back at that time, man, I felt like I lived at TJ.
Yeah, literally.
Like I worked there from 7 to 3, and then, you know, back in the day when we were doing basketball, it's like we had a split schedule of early practice or late practice. So if we had a late practice, you know, I'm staying there till 9:30, you know, and that's just a lot. Then take into consideration, you say if you want to throw in an early practice, you know, that's just a long day.
Yeah.
And you know me, like me, I'm leaning into like people.
Yeah.
And that's a lot too, you know, over the time of just trying to like care about people, but then also like trying to care about this program and like trying to like really bring it up. And so, I don't know, I feel like selfishly I was trying to do a lot.
Do you think you didn't realize you were getting like burnt out?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm trying to say is like, that's what I think was a huge reflection for me, especially over COVID. Was like, I was like, holy shit. I was I was doing a lot, man.
Dude, you were running on fumes, it seemed like.
I probably was.
Yeah.
And to bring another thing up too, he kind of goes into hardship too. During my coaching time frame, like I had to go through all that stuff with my daughter and losing my son, right?
Right.
I chose to like lean into coaching and try to use that as like a space to keep me sane probably didn't really spend a lot of time to like grieve or even like really fathom what was really going on. I talk about that with my wife a lot of times too, because we were running on fumes. And again, even having that time of like COVID, it really gave me some time to like sit back and be like, holy shit, what have we just been? What have we really just been through? Where are we still at right now? And I feel like again, it gives me a different lens, but also like gave us space to become closer to as a family unit too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely feel like I was sprinting towards burnout and not realizing it.
Yeah, because I think once you're like, because you've literally been there since you were in high school up until like, X amount of time. And I just feel like you don't really realize like how much you're getting burnt out, because it's like, it's once you do something every single day for X amount of years, it's like you live and breathe that. So you probably just didn't know. And that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy looking back at it.
Yeah, I remember you just like texting about like when you lost your son and stuff, and rest in peace, and I'm sure like that was like an insane time for you.
It was.
Yeah, because I just remember I was like, okay, we're probably just not going to see him for like a little bit, and then literally the next day he's like,
right back to the gym.
Let's go, come on, we got shit to do.
Yeah, get in the gym.
Like, and that's where I was just like wow, like that's like the norm for him to just like, okay, like we got shit to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in my life, but this is like a way for me to like let it out kind
100%.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I ever told you that, but like I commend you for like just like even just like pushing through like the things like you were going through at that time, because dude, I don't think anyone would in their goddamn right mind would just go to practice.
Yeah, but I felt like I had to, because I don't know what else I would have done. And to be 100% honest, man, like during that time, like early on, like obviously I lost my son, but my daughter was still like fighting for her life in the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, like I had some bad thoughts during that time, man. Like I didn't understand what the purpose was, like I really didn't. I didn't understand why these things were happening to us. And yeah, so I was in a bad place, and that's again, me personally, just in life experiences growing up, whenever I've been in these spaces of like super frustrated or confused or emotional or down or depressed, I always could like go to basketball, whether that's going to the park, playing in a game, shooting around. I would always go to that to like at least like give me a space to like figure some things out. And so that's really what I did. I was like, well, shit, let's go get in the gym.
Yeah. No, yeah. Because like you said, basketball is like very the sports in general is just therapeutic, but basketball for you is just like that's like your thing. So yeah, in a weird way.
Yeah,
you've mentioned your wife like quite a few times, and she's like, I feel like she's always just been there like as like one of your biggest supporters. Would you say like that's like the one person that like motivates you like every day, or it's like a?
She's a big part in how I approach things, and why I get up and make sure that I'm able to provide. Yeah, for sure. I think her and my kids too. But yeah, she's been a huge support. I think back to again when my time at coaching, especially at TJ. Especially again when I had the time to like think. I'm like, damn, she was really holding it down. Because again, I was saying I wasn't really home. With basically at that point it was 2 kids, but still it's like a lot. And that's why now currently I'm all for her. Like, what do you want to do, right? I'm like. So that's currently, so I'm not sure if you know, but she's about to be the
head coach, right?
Head coach.
Yeah. Congrats to her, by the way. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for her. I'm trying to like prep her a little bit, but not trying to say too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to give her my horrors, but
started off on the wrong foot.
I'm not trying to push that on her at all, but like I'm excited for her, and again, like I just kind of want to return the favor of like supporting. Yeah, she's a big influence and person that again has her unique way of like appreciating what the game of basketball can do and has provided. Has been a big connector for us. It's kind of how we met. That's what kind of like runs through our relationship and our family.
Now your kids are just playing basketball. And,
and that's kind of a gift and a curse too. Like it's like we're at this point now where like our kids are getting older, and we're like, well, we know that we love basketball, but do you guys love it?
Yeah, because you don't. I don't think. I think I hear this a lot because a lot of my older friends like have kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they all have something similar where like they don't want to push their identity into their kid.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. It's really hard, and sometimes we've found ourselves like, damn, what do we did like? is this something that she wants, or are we pushing it?
Yeah.
And it comes to a point, like, if you're the pusher and the person doesn't want it, there's going to be that point of just, like, explosion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got 3 kids, and so, like, we're trying to do better.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I feel like that's good because I feel like the thing for so long, especially like, I feel like even like when you were like in elementary, middle school, high school, you would see a lot of like kids living their parents' dreams.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's good to see now, especially like what you're trying to like not enforce, but just trying to let them be like, hey, like these are your options, you know?
Yeah, I think that's always been our approach. Is like we want to like figure out what's important to you and like what you're passionate about. But on the flip side too, it's like until you figure that out, like you're going to be active and you're going to play sports. It doesn't mean you have to be great at it, but like again, because going back to what we were talking about earlier, like in our opinion, there's so many life lessons and character building scenarios that you get when you're playing sports that we want to at least have that instilled in you. Doesn't mean you have to go like be great at it, but like at least you will have these certain skill sets so that should help you in whatever you decide to do in life. And so that's kind of our motto is like, you know, be active, be a team player, you know, play to win, have fun, and you know, if sports is going to take you somewhere, great. If not, at least you know how to like compete and like talk to people and like be a leader and you know all those factors that should help you out.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you two as parents and as coaches, it's like the deadliest combo because you see the best of like coaching players, but also it's like
it's hard.
But I feel like for you guys, I think you guys do it well. I mean, like from what it looks like on a surface level, it's like you guys find like a good balance between like being the coach for your kid versus like being the parent for your kid. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I think there's good days and bad days.
No, yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. Overall, just like your life so far, if your life is a book, right?
Yeah.
And you were to give it like a title for your book, what would the title of your book be? Or at least, and you can answer like either or, or if that's the case, like the chapter you're currently living right now, if it's coming to a close, if it's starting or in the middle, like what's the name of the chapter or like what's the name of the book? You can answer either or. I came prepared, bro.
That's a good question. Off the top of my head, I would say title of the book would probably be You Live and You Learn. Chapter, I would say I feel like I'm in a place of, it's kind of going along with the theme of the book, but I feel like I'm in a chapter of learning and, you know, trying to like expand my mindset into other like spaces. I obviously I work in education.
Yeah.
I just had this like thought just this morning. I'm like, damn, I work in education. It makes sense why I'm like always seeking to like
to like learn
to
and
learn
teach.
or ask questions or like just to kind of have a better understanding on things.
Right.
Like I literally had that thought this morning. I'm like, damn, I work in education. Okay. But yeah, I just think that this is me speaking now as an older and experienced person, but I do think that education is extremely important, and I'm not talking about school education. I think it's just learning in general about whatever that you might be curious about or you feel like that you can like pursue to help you out in life or to make more money or to like help other people out. I firmly believe that you have to be able to like educate yourself to keep yourself like up to speed, man. You know, like I mean, even just learning about like what's going on with the technology. I know you're pretty tapped in with that, but like if you're not learning about like what's going on, then like, you know, where does that leave you?
Yeah, no,
you know
exactly.
So,
because I think it's okay to like not have interest in things.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, but
you got to know everything.
Yeah, no, at least like have a sense of like, okay, like I at least know. I don't have to love it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. But I think there's people out there that choose not to, you know, and so I attribute the mindset to sports because like in sports you say, you know, if you feel like you're a player that has nothing to work on or nothing to improve, you know what I'm saying, you're probably like done. You're probably tapped out. And I kind of apply that in life. I'm like, I don't know everything, and I know there's plenty of things that I can like learn to like again help me understand.
Yeah.
I don't know how to talk to people, or like I said, how to make more money, or like how to like help people, whatever it is. I know there's other ways of like learning, and so if I don't feel like I am having that mindset, then I'm gonna have a closed mindset, and then
You just get complacent.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't. Me personally, I don't
Yeah.
want that.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you've always been the type of person to be. You would rather be content than complacent. Because content you can always just like you can always build off of.
Sure.
Complacent is just like you're just set in stone. Like
Done.
you're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you make a good point. I feel like people nowadays, like, because not only like is technology evolving, like literally everything is just evolving so fast too.
Yeah.
And I feel like you said, it's good to have just be a little bit versatile in the things you know.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so I know you like your first impression of me. You mentioned that, but like, is there like a memory that like stands out? Like you have a favorite memory of me? I asked Adriel this question, but I gotta know what you think too. Whether that may be like off the court, on the court.
Man. The first one that comes to mind is you cooking or bringing meals. I don't know what it was. Was it fettuccine?
Oh, when I made you pasta?
Pasta.
It was chicken basil pesto.
Come
yeah.
on, baby. Nah, it was after one of the games. I don't even think you had brought it for yourself.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh, yeah.
starving. I was like, let me try some of that.
Yeah, and then
And you were being so generous. You let me have it. And I was like, "Woo, what is that? Oh, baby, that's my chicken baby box."
I think it was funny because I think because that was just me. Like I just love like my love language is I just love giving gifts, and I just love just like being around people kind of thing. And for me, like food was like a really big thing.
Yeah, that's why I learned that part about you.
Yeah.
And that kind of started our journey just as far as talking about food.
Yeah.
Because I was a fan immediately. Right? I was like, "This is bomb." Bro.
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, when you bringing some more?"
No, I
And
think
you're
it was
like,
fun.
"Oh, I think I can make some more for like after the game." I'm like, "Yeah."
No, yeah. Because I think I think that was like the fun part about like just working with C Team. It's like I was like also because a lot of the kids like they weren't really eating before the game, and I feel like that's like super crucial.
Sure.
Like eating before a game, like it doesn't have to be like an insane meal.
Sure. Just having something in there to give you energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't recommend eating, like, I will say that Sam Blake was one of those guys that could eat, like, that could eat anything and everything. Like, he could have, like, 3 combo meals and run like a motherfucker.
Man.
That's the crazy part. But kind of going back to, like, the food thing before, I think it's funny because I would just drop off food for you, even, like, when you were, like, doing gear up stuff.
Yeah, the plug.
Yeah, and I was like,
Hey, I made something. I'm trying this out. Let me know what you think about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, man.
Yeah.
You ain't missed, so keep it coming.
And then you were leaving the office, and then you were like eating as you went, and then I like peeked a little bit because I just wanted to see, because I was also in a rush, like trying to get to class and stuff, and you were just like you were eating, you were just like you were walking, just like, man. But no, I'm glad you enjoyed the food that I made.
Yeah, man.
Because I feel like I wasn't like the most insane chef, but I feel like at my age I felt like I was
something going on.
I felt like I was making some
I
good
enjoyed
stuff.
some good food, bro. So
Yeah.
if I was telling you, it was yeah. That's what that one stood out. I would say early morning hoops stood out for sure. Because you were a part of that too.
Yeah.
You were showing up consistently. What else?
I remember during those early mornings we played a lot of horse. You and I played a lot of horse.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
There would be some questionable shots that I would take. You'd be like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, splash.
Slash.
Yeah, man, I learned a lot about you during that time too. I was like, oh, he actually can shoot. The left-handed flick, the fadeaway. That fadeaway is crazy, bro.
Yeah, because it was just like all the variations. It was right shoulder, left shoulder, the one dribble,
Man,
the shimmy.
you
Like,
had
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, I learned a lot.
Dude, I think about like all the time that has passed and everything that like I've been through, that you've seen me go through. I just feel like I'm always forever, ever going to be like thankful. There was 2 very important phases where like I like wanted to take my own life.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
That was another thing that stood out.
It was
kind of like early, like heavy conversation.
My senior year, I think for me, I was just like never like the most confident person.
Sure.
You know, and I was just always like, I just feed off of like really good energy, like because I just love being around people. So, and I would always just provide and try to give that energy so that people could have their confidence. But I think for me, like I just never was like a super confident person. So I think when I was like down in the dumps, I was like really like down in the dumps.
Yeah.
I just like think about like all the like even when I'm like having bad days, like I've been kind of going through like a little bit of a rough patch, but even like thinking about like just the practices, all the games, losses and wins or whatever it may be, like something random, like I think a Boo like dunk it on Savon during practice or something, or a Savon dunk it on a Boo getting back at him, like, and we would just all be hyped and we were like, I think a lot of that.
You were there, man.
Yeah,
you were there for a lot of it.
But and that's what I'm saying. Like, if it wasn't for all of that, I think I would be like at a really weird place, because I could have been out there like doing drugs and like I could have gotten lost and like I got invited to do all these things.
Yeah,
but
you were a part of it, man. And returning that and saying I'm super grateful that you were a part of everything, because you, like, even though you didn't have like an official label, like you were a big part of everything, man. Like you did so much. You were always willing to help out, and you were always willing to like do what was needed. It's funny because I was even watching some clip a couple weeks ago, and I heard your voice on it. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah,
I was probably recording.
No, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think this is like why I'm so familiar with this, is because like it started back then, and like I enjoyed just like recording the game, because it's like I don't think I realized as I'm recording, like I'm just like talking, like doing commentary and stuff, and it's just like.
That's what I'm saying. I heard your voice. I was like, oh, shit, Brandon's recording.
Yeah.
But you obviously, again, you cared, and you hopefully you felt like you were a part of it. Right?
No, yeah, definitely.
Because not only that, but you like were tapped in, and you had relationships, and you cared, as we talked about earlier, but like you knew the players too, right? So like you were invested, man, and I feel like the feelings are mutual from all the players that were part of the program during that time too. Like they viewed you as a part of the program. I don't know what the label they put on you, but you were part of the program, right? And I think that's really cool to know that that was an impactful part of your life, because it is like a family scenario.
I think we were really big on that. It's like we're family, like in and out the court.
That's my approach, man.
Yeah, I think that's what I just loved about TJ compared to like a lot of the other programs.
Sure.
We had a lot of connections that made us like want to get better. It may not have showed right away. It may not have showed like in the next game. It may not have showed in every single player. But it was like just a progressive overload. I will like always be thankful for, and I think that's what like keeps me going a lot nowadays, is that just like I had a lot of good people in my life. If it wasn't for you, like even like oh hey, like do you want to come like help out with the program? Like you can come to practices and things like that. I'll forever be grateful, because there was just so much like inside jokes. There's just so many like there was just so much competition, and it's just like it was just so authentic and so genuine. And I think that's why like I'll always like be thankful for like high school, because it literally feels like yesterday.
It does.
Yeah.
That's why earlier you said 2013. I was like crazy. I was like, I was like, damn. Agreed. It does feel like yesterday.
Yeah. But you know, I think that's like the beauty of like growing up, is that you just are a lot more. Like I'm just a lot more reflective.
Yeah.
And I'm just like a lot more thankful, because like back then I'm not like really thinking too deep on this stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say like I was somewhat of like a deep thinker.
Yeah.
But more now it's just like I'm just like very grateful.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy, man, that like an interest in basketball created that much of a story.
Basketball, again, that's one of the reasons why I got into coaching too, because like the little orange round basketball is able to do so much. Like what you're saying is the same thing, man. I think it just like being a part of this special game, man, it's like you're supposed to have lasting memories and lasting relationships. That's why I think the game is so beautiful, man. And that's why I was saying earlier, I feel like the love of the game is a big part of it. And I think sometimes we deem success in basketball like how high of a level you played, and that's not it. Like I think you can be really successful in basketball when you have memories and stories and networks and like connections, kind of like what you're saying. Like that's a big part of the game, right? You know, and I think those storylines and those experiences need to be shared more, because to me, again, personally, that's what I think it's all about, man. Again, like I said, I have so many connections from the game of basketball, and it's kind of like what you're saying. I don't know what my life would look like if I didn't play basketball. Basketball saved me in a lot of ways. So that's dope that you're able to have those experiences. Keep going, man.
Yeah.
You still got a lot A lot of things to do, man.
No, yeah, I have a lot of life to live for
You
sure.
got a
Yeah.
lot of things to do, man.
Yeah.
No, I've always been a fan of you, man. Like, it was even weird to hear you say, but I get it, that, you know, you always were dealing with confidence issues or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not the energy that you put off. Your energy is great, man. It's very contagious, a very different abstract mindset, but I think that's a skill set in itself, man. And, you know, every time I talk to you, man, I just feel like I'm just, like, leaning into you and, like, trying to, like, give you more, because you got it, man.
Yeah.
Like, and you're doing that, man. So, like, you're doing a lot of great things in life, man. I think you just need to be able to give yourself that grace sometimes.
I think I just never grew up taking so many risks.
So you're doing them now.
Yeah.
Do it, man. Because the last thing you want to do is to be thinking about taking risk when you have, like, even more responsibility on your plate.
Yeah.
You mess up, you mess up. At least you learn from it, though.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that one big thing for me is like not knowing like the results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's scary.
Yeah,
But
but-
the unsure, the unknown.
Yeah, but that's where it's just like I think that's a lot of like if I want to keep growing, that's like the thing I kind of just got to do more. And I feel like that's a lot of like my friends too, especially with like a project like this. Is like there's a lot of unknowns in our lives, and I
Yeah.
think that's like why a lot of my friends are just so hesitant on like like for example like should I go to school? Should I
Yeah.
even like should I stop the thing I'm studying,
Yeah.
or should I go follow that career occupation?
Yeah.
Like, should I make that my occupation?
Yeah.
Like,
The commitment of it.
yeah, because it's just like I think we're just a lot of my friends. I won't say like they're all complacent, but like they're on the content side, but they're leaning more towards the complacent side because it's like this is a safe route, and I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that.
Sure.
But I know like a lot of them definitely want to try things, but they're just
Yeah.
like kind of similar to like how I felt for like a really long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's very common, man. And, you know, it's saying to that too. Like, you know, if you want to be different or stand out or be in this space of whatever, successful, elite, whatever, right? You got to move and do things that majority don't want to do, you know? And again, majority of people don't want to do the hard things.
okay, well, I think that's all I kind of wanted to just chop it up about.
First time looking at the camera.
It's okay. No, it's all good. When I think about these conversations and I think about like all the memories that I've made like with you and like Adriel and like all my other friends, right? Like this is like the perspective I look at it.
Sure,
Like, I'm
just
watching
chop
from
it
like
up.
the third person perspective. Like that's how I always remember it, you know? But yeah, I appreciate you, Susie, for real. Big time. Always.
man, always
Yeah.
love.
Always love.
Always love.
Yeah. What did you always say? Oh, K-pop?
My man,
K-pop.
Now, for future episodes and future content, do I have an idea of when I'm gonna post this stuff and what I want to post? Absolutely. In terms of posting every day, I'm not gonna put that as a promise, just because I want to make sure I have an idea of what I'm gonna do and I want to post it the way I want to post it. Now, I'm gonna be posting more, so I'm not gonna be afraid to post as much anymore or post certain things, just because I would rather build off something, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback, a lot of good criticism, and I just want to keep posting stuff, and even if it's not perfect there, it's gonna get to a point where everyone's enjoying it, and that's the most important thing, is everyone's enjoying it. But the most valuable thing to me is I'm just enjoying the process overall, editing, restarting, uploading, and just continuing to come up with more ideas. So I'm excited for this, and just thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we will see you on the next one of So Who's Next?